Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I wanted to hop on here early today while I still had some time since I have a shoot later today. But I wanted to hop in here and talk a little bit about just what this month has looked like for me and just kind of how it ties into the number one secret, right, to your success. And this is obviously me sharing my story and like what this looks like for me, but I want you to think about it and like apply it to, your everyday and what that means for you. But it truly is like the number one secret to your success. So I want to start by saying like so January is always kind of my slow month, but I really used it this year to do a lot of pitching and marketing and kind of vamping up the back ends of my business and deciding how I was going to reposition myself or market myself in new ways and things like that. So I did a ton of like back end work on my business and on myself and everything like that. And February was really about like that working, but also like really digging in deeper to my goals and really going for those. And a lot of the things that I had, so it was funny because you guys know, if you don't already, I do goal setting on like a regular basis. So I at least do it once a month. Typically at the beginning of the month. This week I actually did it yesterday, so already, which is kind of the start of March. But I continually work on my goal setting. I'll show you my little notebook. Like I have tons of notebooks, but I have a specific notebook that I do all of my goal setting. And it's really just to kind of break out of my comfort zone a little bit, kind of break out of my like being stuck in autopilot or just working on tasks and things like that. So I make it a point to goal set so that way I think bigger. I really push myself, outside my comfort zone or outside of what I'm just thinking about and where I'm at and where I really want to go. And that could be, I'm not just talking about my business. I'm really talking about this in whatever your life looks like and whatever that you want to build or improve on or do in your life. Maybe it's something you want to have. Maybe it's something you'll always hear like be, do, or have, like anything that you want to be, like who's that person you want to become, or do, like what is it? Hey mom, or doing, like what do you want, what more do you want to do, whether that's in your career, maybe it's in your life, maybe it's at home, or if it's like have, like usually like some type of material thing, like whether it's a car, which I'll get to, or something that you want to have in your life. So those are kind of three really key things for your goals. If you're not really sure where to start, you can kind of ask yourself that, what do you want to be, do, and have? But I sit down and I write down these goals, and then it really pushes my mind on like what I should be focusing on, not just the task itself, but what I should be focusing on. And this February, so this month, has been crazy how things have shifted, how things have happened, how they've really gotten me out of my comfort zone to make some decisions and jump into things that maybe, I could have held myself back and said like, I'm not ready for this, or I don't know if I can do this, like it was really challenging because I had some things come up with my car again. And my car has been just kind of this ongoing, I don't say nightmare, but ongoing challenge, because it's just kind of gotten to the point where like something breaks, something goes wrong, and then like something happens after that and something happens after that. So it just hasn't been super reliable over the past probably year and a half, maybe closer to 2 years now. So I decided to hop on Craigslist and just try looking for a car. And I had, for quite a while now, I've wanted a Kia Optima. I know it's like a weird dream car, but that's been my dream car for like just over 6 years, ever since I saw it like on the commercial. And specifically, like I wanted the white one with like the black top that had like the full moonroof and things like that, like the full package. And I was like, that's a gorgeous car. It's very like reliable, right? Like that's what I was looking for, but it was just very nice. And that's kind of been my dream car for a while. But I was like, okay, like I'll search for Kias and see what I find. Long story short, it actually happened really fast because I found a handful that I was willing to look at, and I sent them to my brother who helped me, and we picked 3 of them that we were going to go see. And the day that we were going to go see them, I called the places and only 2 of them were still available. So we were still going to go look at the 2, and we went to the first one, and we got there and this car looked nothing like the pictures. The front tire was completely flat, completely like just trashed. There were dents and scratches. The back bumper was like super loose, which was really sketchy. But I was like, no, like, let's go. It was like off of Federal. I was like, let's just leave, right? Like, obviously this one's not working. The girl was super nice, and she's like, we actually have another Kia if you're interested in that. She's like, you can take a look. And I was like, yeah, I'd like to take a look. It happened to be the white Kia Optima that I have like always wanted. And really the only thing wrong with it was it had some hail damage. I was like, that's cosmetic. That's totally fine. Like, we're in Colorado, it's going to hail. So that was one of the big things that just kind of like happened. It was definitely like law of attraction stuff. Like, it was the exact car I wanted, but didn't expect. Like, that was not the car that I was going to see because I didn't even know that they had it. And then we did go and we looked at the other car too, and it was really, really nice. But I was I was already like, if I'm gonna spend the money, like, I might as well get the one that I want. And I was just really attracted to it. I was like, let's just go with this one. So ended up like negotiating and was able to get it for a ridiculous price, which was amazing. It's only got 32,000 miles on it. It's like brand new. It's crazy. But that was a big, crazy, like, challenge yet exciting time for me because I had been looking for a car with my like unreliable car for quite a while, but just like it was never the right time. And finally it was a good time of year to buy. If you guys are looking for a car, this is a great time of year to look for a car because not a lot of people look in the winter. Hey, Amanda, thanks for hopping on. But it was just a good time. It was very challenging because it was a lot of money to like put down right away, especially since, leaving my day job and still trying to like vamp up my businesses and things like that. Like, it was a challenge. I was like, okay, do I do this? Like, what, pros, cons, like, what do I weigh? And I could have totally been stuck in that, like, I can't afford this. I don't know, like, I'm too afraid. But something about it, like that being the exact car that I had wanted for so long, and with getting the deal that we did, I was like, I can't not do this. Like, this is such a crazy thing that like happened. I just have to kind of go for it. So I did. And I end up having, my dream car right now, which is amazing. I love my car so much. But that was the first thing. And then I also went to this, it was like a 2-hour kind of random business conference that I went to with one of my friends who also owns her own business. She's a massage therapist and amazing. Sarah, if you're listening, shout out to you. But we went to this not really knowing what to expect. And it was really good. Like, there were definitely things like you had to weigh because of course you get like a sales pitch during it. But some of the things that you took away, I was like, okay, like I'm still learning things that I haven't learned before or I haven't fully grasped. So I was like, went into it totally open and was just thinking about, okay, like, what can I learn from this? What can I really take away from this? How can I implement this into my business and things like that? And basically they have like a bigger business conference that they were like selling, right? As part of this kind of free conference for the 2 hours. And I decided to do it. So I'm really excited, like this fall, I'll be able to go to that. It's a 3-day conference. But again, it was like one of those things that I had to decide on the investment. Like, was it worth it? Was I going to spend my money on that? Did I think it was going to help me? Or was it too expensive? Like there's all these things that go through your mind. But it was really like, I know the things that they're saying are really going to help me. And I feel like I can get a lot out of this. And for the price, that's what I'm willing to invest in order to like help me build my business. So I did that. And then the one other thing that like really challenged me was I had, last fall, I had done a subscription to a Colorado like wedding magazine. So it was like a local wedding magazine, not a huge known one, but it was definitely more toward my like target market, like who I wanted to work with as a bride or as the couple. So I did like one of their marketing packages to get listed on their website and have, me as a photographer on their website, and then in like one of their editions of their magazine. So I invested in that close to like around Thanksgiving. And I got an email this month that said they have decided to completely shut down their business and that their website would be gone in March. And basically the good thing was they were going to refund me what I had paid, like prorated from what I've already used like that time. So at least I was getting a refund and could kind of like reimburse what I decided to market in next. But I did have to change a little bit of my marketing strategy and go for something else. And I realized like one of the things, like I hadn't had any business from them. Obviously I was only with them for like almost 2 months, like maybe. So I was like, okay, that's not working. They're going out of business. Like, what do I do next? So I reached out to some of the vendors that I've been like partnering with and things like that. And I'm like, what do you do? Like, what are some of the best things that you do? So long story short, I ended up going to Wedding Wire, which I've had their free account for a while now, but have only gotten like one lead like ever, mostly because I show up on, like page 20 versus like 2. So I ended up deciding to invest in one of their premium accounts to be a featured vendor on their website and show up on page 2, basically. So I could like add more to my profile. I could add more pictures. I have like reviews on there now, which is awesome. And I could connect with other vendors. And I've already started getting a few leads from there, which is really, really exciting. So I decided to invest in that. And that was probably the most expensive advertising I've done for my photography business yet. It was pretty pricey. It's like the cost of a full wedding, but I was like, I'm going to get leads from this. I'm going to try it. I've definitely heard good things from other people, so I'm going to do this. So I basically like what you can say is like, I spent a lot of money this month, right? But it really challenged me into thinking bigger and more toward my goals. Like, how is this going to help me? What does this mean for me and my business and things like that? And the reason I bring all of this up is because I want to talk about the number one secret to your success, and that's what leads into it, is investing in you. And this doesn't mean like, obviously I related a lot of the different examples to my business and how it was going to help me and how I was investing and spending money to further my businesses. But this is the same thing for like you in your life, in your family, in your career, in your, whatever it is. You decide what that goal is. But if you're not willing to invest in yourself, you're not going to get very far, especially very quickly. And that is so true. I've, invested a ton in myself. Student loans, first of all, is a huge thing, like just your education in general, or if you're doing like types of courses that are going to help your skills, whether this is, a lot of the times if you have a day job, if you have some type of career in your field, they are willing to pay for you to like go to conferences or take these classes to continue your education, to build your skills, to invest in you. But you also have to take the initiative to do that yourself. And whether that means, buying a car that's going to be more reliable and last and help, your businesses, especially because it is reliable and things like that. Or if it's investing in like, if you've been struggling with something, if you've been really challenged by whatever it is that's happening in your life, maybe it's a situation, maybe it's just how you've been feeling. One other thing I was going to mention was one of the things that I invested in just this weekend was I went and got a facial and a consultation with an esthetician, I think is how you say it. But I finally did that after a year and a half struggling with my skin ridiculously, which I haven't like ever had in my life. But like the last year and a half, I've been struggling with my skin so much. And it was like such a frustration because I feel like I've tried everything under the sun. And nothing was working. And I was really frustrated. Honestly, it took a lot of my energy emotionally too, because I was so frustrated and I was pretty self-conscious about it. And it just like, I spent more time trying to like cover things up, or like I spent more time and energy trying to deal with it myself than just trying to go get help. So I went into her and like literally it's been 3 days and my skin is like so much better already. So that was another big thing that I've invested in. And it's just amazing, like when you reach out for help and you really take this step, especially like going to a business conference. Like I am very much an introvert, and pushing myself to go to these things, meet people, network with people that I've never met before, even though like I still get anxious when I like meet new people and have to like pitch myself and like things like that. Like it's still a work in progress for me. And I feel like it always kind of will be. Like I just have to keep practicing it to feel better and better every time I do it. Even though like I feel my blood pressure rise a little bit. I'm like, okay, I can do this. It's fine. Right? But you have to push yourself. You have to get outside of your comfort zone and put yourself in those different positions. If you're not happy in your job, like apply for a new job. Maybe you need some job coaching. Maybe you need someone to look at your resume. I can definitely help you with that, by the way. Maybe it's starting your business and finally just trying something for the first time. Maybe it's just trying a new hobby. Maybe you just want to go dance again, or you really want to like get back into your fitness, but you're terrible with like trying to keep yourself on track, like personally. So you need to like go to a class, and you need to try like a cycling class or a yoga class or whatever that is, like whatever it is that you haven't done yet, maybe you need to try it. And this has been such a key thing for me, especially within like the last year, like whether it's getting different courses or hiring a coach or, oh my gosh, I've gone to so many different like networking meetings or like opportunities for that, or classes or courses, even just online. There's so many different things that you can do. Even just like picking up a book and reading it, of course, is going to like invest in your mind and help like hitting things. Just help further you. But when you invest in yourself and you get out of that, like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't afford this. Oh, I can't, like that can't word, that like, I can't, whatever it is, that holds you back, that limits you. And I want you to, sometimes you really don't want to do it. And that's a whole different conversation, because when you're telling yourself you can't, you hold yourself back, you limit yourself to what you think you can do. You really write that story in your head saying, I can't do these things, which in reality you can, you're just deciding you're not for whatever reason. So it does hold yourself back. If you are able to like sit there and really process something and say like, like something just doesn't feel good to me about this. And I just I don't want to do this right now. And that can be, okay, that's very like on the line of like, if you know yourself well enough to kind of follow your intuition and say like, I don't want to do this right now, that is okay. If you're like, I don't want to do this because it scares me, that's a different conversation too. And that's where you might need to just like get out of your comfort zone a little bit and try it. Like allow yourself to try these things, even if you end up failing, even if it end up, it's not what you expected, that's okay. You are still going to change in some way. You are still going to understand yourself better. You're still going to develop skills that, maybe not even related to like what you went to the conference for or things like that, but you're constantly developing yourself because you are growing. So the number one secret to your success is investing in yourself, and whatever that looks like for you. But I wanted to hop on and share that today and share some of the last month of my journey and just how it's helped me. And can I just say, like, even after spending quite a bit of money this month, like my business has taken off more in February. So that's been extremely exciting to see that like my investments have been worth it so far. And I just have to keep pushing myself and going forward. So I wanted to hop on here and share this with you guys today. I hope you have a good Wednesday, and I will see you guys later.